Master, we are in a tight spot, we are in a tight modding spot. Hello and welcome to a killer7 modding tutorial. This tutorial will explain how to replace characters in killer7 using Maya 4.5 and the exporter plugin. We will be refitting external 3D models into killer7 models from the source reusing the original model skeleton. We will be going through the whole process. I am doing the whole process inside the virtual machine with Windows 2000. You can do some preparations outside the VM, like texture converting or your preparations of the model. I like to use Maya 4.5 because it is very simple and not overloaded. You will be able to use a modern Maya for most of the tasks, but if you want to export the model for killer7, you have to use Maya 4.5 with a virtual machine with Windows 2000 or XP. Haven't tested that. It is only working with that so far. You don't have to do it step by step, like it's explained here, but this workflow seems to be the most effective. It has a low error margin and is usually fitting for the most models. I will leave out special poses of hands for now. What you need: basic understanding of Maya and other 3D tools. Maya 4.5 with a working exporter plugin, presumably Windows 2000 on a virtual machine. Patience or something similar to it. The first step will be to download your model. Mine is already extracted on the desktop. I will be using a model from No More Heroes, Sylvia, that I found on DeviantArt. By Milo 500. Kaeda will be replaced with the downloaded Sylvia model. Point 1. Preparation. Prepare your new model for Maya in your favorite 3D tool. Bring the new model into T-pose. Check if all textures and UVs are present, test render. Point 2. Exporting. Export to the OBJ format with specific settings. Goal is to have an exported character model with assigned smoothing groups without weird optimizations. We will skip mostly of it here, since we already have an star.obj file. But the process is very easy, just make sure you export to star.obj, so you can later import it into Maya. Note, other formats will most likely work too, but OBJ worked best so far. As you can see, the model is already in T-pose, which is good. The textures are missing, we have to relink them. We can relink the textures in the material editor called Hypershade. I just linked materials to the textures and selected the files. Keep in mind that texture should be converted into TGA format and saved as 24-bit TGA files. You can use paint.net for it. I already did that here. She looks pretty good. Let's test render. Pretty shiny. If we compare this model file to the Yadi base model, we will see some differences. Usually you have the body and the head end parts separated above the neck, so it's easier to fit it to the existing model. Let's see. The head, eyes, and face are separated meshes here and are parented to the skull joint. The body is outside the skeleton. We shall prepare it the same way with the new model. I combine the meshes. The face is already attached to the body, so we have to separate that. Meanwhile I delete the history. For the objects, modifiers cannot be removed anymore. This helps me to keep the outliner clean. I also hide all, but keep the body. I use face mode to select the parts I want to separate. Holding down the right mouse button and choosing face. Now I begin the selection. As you can see, it's more than we need, so I deselect some of the faces while holding Ctrl and selecting the unneeded faces. Now we need to separate the selection from the body mesh. There are probably better ways to do it, but this is the way that works for me. First I extract the mesh, then I move it up, so I can later separate it. After that I can combine it. Once the meshes are separated and moved, I can easily select the parts I need and combine the head and body part in their own meshes. Now, I can refit the head to the original place. If you press F while having a mesh selected, you will zoom in the active viewport. To activate the Move tool, press W. With Alt and the middle mouse button you can move the object around. So far so good. Let's display all objects. We can save her now and move on to our base model, yadi. Choose your base character from the source files you want to replace with your model files. Since we are using yadi, we have to find her model file. Copy the files, myastar.mb file and textures, into custom folder, where you can edit it, without losing your original source file. Depending on the character you want to replace, there are different file locations to consider. Goal is, it's always good to have a backup. Laughing face. Import your created Maya model file into your K7 model base file. Open your base file and import your new model that you have prepared in Maya. Use the Maya file, star.mb, for import. As you can see, the new model is way too big. We need to scale it down. Best is to group the meshes and scale down. After that we can delete the group. Select the scale tool or press R, holding down the middle mouse button. Center the new model as good as you can. This is crucial. You don't know how many captures I made of this, because I forgot to center it right and tight.